Hello, everyone. I'm just coming back from the court. Today, the sitting was on Natasha's suspension from the Senate, and so this case had been adjourned the other time. It was supposed to be done. I think was it on the 30th, like that last week Friday or so, and then it was adjourned. And we went in there today. Everything was somehow different. We weren't even allowed to enter. It took a long time before we could go in, and by the time I got in, the judge had already sat down there, and we couldn't go in. But we stayed outside and waited till we hear the judgment. And this is part of the thing. One of the judgments is that the court is saying that Natasha has to apologize to the court, not to National Assembly, not to Senate, to apologize to the court for that satirical apology she had done one time, like mocking. Because it's like she was mocking even the court, because the court had said everybody should not say anything on it. That's one. The other thing is that the court has also, made it that it's wrong. I'm just trying to see. Let me just see the way it was couched. I'm trying to get the right English for it. Abuja court nullifies suspension of Senator Natasha. Other Senate to recall Kogi lawmaker. That's how Sahara reporters have put it. That's how it went. So it's the word I'm looking for. Nullify. That's the word I'm looking for. So it did nullify that the Senate did not have the right to suspend her. But then this is where, for me, this is where the problem is. The court did not come out outrightly to say, okay, you didn't have the right to suspend her. She needs to go back for her to resume. The court is saying that it's the Senate that didn't have the right to suspend her that is now recalling her. How? Is that not a contradiction? First of all, they didn't have the right to suspend her. Now you are telling you've nullified that suspension. Now you are saying that that same institution that didn't have the right to suspend her is now the one to have the right to now recall her. You are putting her at the mercy of her oppressors. How does this work? How does this make any sense? You are not putting her at the mercy. And this is the Senate that does not respect, court rulings. It's just that our judiciary, I don't know whether somebody should borrow anger, somebody should borrow vex for them, so that sometimes they should be vexing on issues. They are being disrespected, but they don't see this disrespect. Corrupt politicians will continuously disrespect them, but they are not saying anything about it. How come you are not focused, you understand, to say, you're not saying, go back, the suspension, it's null and void, go and resume. In that way, tomorrow she will carry her back, take her this thing, carry her materials, and go and represent her people. But now you're saying recall. So is she going to be waiting until the same Senate that does not respect court judgment to now come and, to come and call her back? For me, I just found that whole thing, it was a bit off. It wasn't really the way that it's supposed to be, and that shouldn't be at all. That should not be the way that the court goes. The court must begin to stand up and be the last resort of the common man, instead of being the plaything of politicians. The court must stand. The court must insist that the right thing be done at any time, every time. But we are not saying that right now. We are not saying that going on. So if the common man cannot go to the court and get justice, where then are they also going to get justice? You understand? Where then are they going to get justice? The people of Kogi Central, for like over 100 days, have not had representation. Isn't that injustice? They voted for someone to represent them. There are. I'm sure they're in their millions when you count all of them. Now they do not have a voice, at the National Assembly. Let me look at this thing that the report that Sahara reporters have done. It says, Abuja court nullifies suspension of Senator Natasha, order Senate to recall Kogi lawmaker. Delivering judgment on Friday in a suit challenging her suspension, the presiding judge, Justice Binta Fatima Nyako, held that the 6-month suspension violated the Constitution and denied Akpo to Duaga's constituent adequate representation. Fine. Why then are you telling the person that did the wrong thing that they will not be the one to be in the position to now act? So if they don't recall her, she will just stay there. Abi, what is it? I need someone to really explain to me. A federal high court in Abuja has nullified the suspension of Kogi State Senator Natasha Akpo Duaga and ordered the Senate to recall her. Delivering judgment on Friday in a suit challenging her suspension, the presiding judge, Justice I'm so sorry, a call is coming in here. Uh, Delivering judgment on Friday in a suit challenging her suspension, the presiding judge, Justice Binta Fatima Nyago, held that the 6-month suspension violated the Constitution and denied Akpotu Duaga's constituent adequate, representation. The court faulted the Senate's decision to suspend the senator, declaring that it was unconstitutional and unlawful. The judge ordered the Senate to reinstate Akpotu Duaga forthwith, allowing her to resume her duties as senator representing Kogi State. They didn't have the right to do it. Why then do they have the power to reinstate it? What they did was null and void. It should be looked upon as being voided. What you now make when you say they should reinstate her, what the court is insinuating is that they have the legal right to do what they did, but you are now appealing to them to recall her. Akpotu Duaga had filed a suit challenging her suspension, arguing that it was a contravention of the Constitution. The Senate, during its executive session on Wednesday, March 12, upheld the suspension of Senator Akpotu Duaga. Sahara Reporters previously reported that the Senate suspended Akpotu Duaga in March for 6 months for allegedly violating Senate standing rules. Her suspension came after she accused Senate President Godswill Akpabio of sexual harassment. There's something that Senator Natasha said. She said this injustice shall not be sustained. And I think we are at a place where we almost begin to say it loud and clear and ensure that the injustice is not sustained. We cannot continue in a country where some people behave the way they want to behave. Nigeria cannot be for only a few people. Nigeria is all of us, and all of us are owners of this country. And so the right thing needs to be done. And I hope the judiciary is able to find its ground. Our judiciary, honestly, there needs to be a reform in it. It's been one of the things why things are not working in Nigeria. Even the insecurity we have, you will link it back to that judiciary. Because many people, for people who have gone to try to negotiate or talk or do one thing or the other with these people who are always terrorizing the country, they come back being sympathetic, because by the time you listen and hear the injustice that are meted on them, even though that's not an excuse to do what they do, but then you hear all of these things. If people know they're going to get justice, there's no how they will take the law into their hand. If people know that when people do things that are wrong, they're going to be punished, institutions do things that are wrong, they're going to be punished, then there will be no need for them to take the laws into their hands. But we are here, people just feel that they can do anything that they want to do, whatever they want to do, the way they want to do it, and get away with it. This injustice shall not be sustained. My fellow citizens, we need to begin to speak up. We keep quiet today, tomorrow is going to be our turn. They said injustice to one is injustice to all. And if you do nothing today, when tomorrow is done to you, who is going to speak for you? Thank you.